And good evening, everybody. Garry Redmond here. Your stars, Nick Lianos and Mark Coates, will be with you very shortly. Welcome to episode 174 of New York Red Bull Discussion Group, the podcast. Well, this is a weekend that we rather not want to discuss about, but then again, we're going to discuss it anyway because, hey, that's what we do. Of course, we're going to talk about how New York got embarrassed, at home by FC Dallas. It was not a pretty picture. It was not. The boys got booed off the field, and rightfully so. Of course, we're going to talk about Gotham FC. They got a win, third straight win third straight win over Racing Louisville. The girls are heating up, and they're also climbing up the table. And of course, we're also going to talk about how New York Red Bull 2. They went down to Chester, unbeaten. When the final whistle was done, they stayed unbeaten. So that's good news for the of course, good news for the baby bulls. Of course, Nicholas is standing by today since it's his turn. He's going to preview the next game for the New York Red Bulls. They're going over to Chicago of the Soldier Field to take on Chicago Fire FC. 3 points out of that place. Well, as we all know, that's pretty much a tall order. Now, the live show is happening right now as we speak. And if you happen to miss it, hey, no big deal. You can catch the recording on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can also check this from home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. All of our new episodes are uploaded, are available Wednesday morning at midnight for your watching and viewing pleasure. And of course, as always, this is your show. We like to hear from you. Tell us exactly how you your guests or and everything else. Glad to hear from you. You have any questions or comments about the podcast, don't hesitate to let us know. We have an email address, rbdgthepodcast@gmail.com. That's rbdgthepodcast, one word, @gmail.com. We read all of your emails long after we sign off. And we like to, and everything else. So, we lost, City lost, got shut out as well, so there will be no horn to blow this weekend. Nobody won the weekend. So we move on to the next weekend, which will be match day number 12. So it was a bad week. We lost the City in the U.S. Open Cup. That was a very bad taste. All tripped off the City. Congrats. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. And of course, the end, BWP puts his name in mortality for everyone to see. It was a very good ceremony, but the game itself, well, not so much to actually discuss. So as we bring, of course, my two cohorts and, of course, our wonderful stars, Nick Lianos and, of course, Mark Coates. Gentlemen, before I even dare to ask you guys, how was your weekend? Because I'm sure that you saw what we all saw. Just basically was a disaster. The thing that really bothered me a little bit, guys, was the simple fact that fans literally turned on the head coach. Now, to be fair, we're going to talk about this, then we're going to go to the match recap. To be fair, most of the anger and the derision has been basically deserved, but if folks step back just a little bit and take a look at the big picture, they'll see that what we've been saying all along, which is the reason why I've been telling everyone to recalibrate your expectations. But as a wise man once said, and he's on here right now, Mark Coates, fans are going to fan. They're going to have said expectations. They're going to have they want to see a succeeding team despite the fact they see otherwise. Mark, you have the floor. Basically, of what you saw so far for the last 10 games, this is how we judge the team, right? Is everything is everything just as advertised as we talked about back in March? Go ahead, man.
I think that there was a false sense of hope given to our general fandom because the team started out well. Julian has been a shining light at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. Andre Mehmeti has played well, but we've sort of fallen off. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't have a defense. And we're going to get into that tonight. But we were discussing during the pre-show, when you looked at the roster from last year, it was a mess. It's still a mess, but it's a more manageable mess now than what it was. I can't imagine having to deal with Julian de Guzman's job, having to try to figure out the rules for salaries, international players. We have so many international spots, 13 we said. You've got way too many guys who are occupying spots that are costing us more money. So there's less money available. We jettison some of the guys that weren't doing well, and then what happens? Wiki Carmona comes back and scores 2 against us. Yet he didn't score anything the entire year. So
Right.
what's the answer? Well, the answer is we told you all this is a rebuilding year. And I there are so many times during the course of either the game thread stuff I read on the group page, I want to scream. What part of rebuild don't you understand?
Yeah,
Because
but Mark, I hate to be the devil's advocate for for the fans and especially people in the group. The expectations are always going to be there, regardless.
Of course they
Okay,
are. But
okay. So,
here's my analogy.
all right, go ahead.
Just because you buy a Mercedes Benz doesn't mean you own the road. Okay, and
Especially those roads in Jersey, right?
yeah, let's not discuss. Here's my sister-in-law rants on and on about BMW drivers. My wife works for BMW. I said, okay, yes, when you're spending $100,000 for a luxury automobile, it does not give you carte blanche to just do whatever you want. All right. Our fans have this, well, I paid for my tickets. I expect to be entertained. Oh, you're going to be entertained.
Oh,
It's just,
the DC game, have you been not been entertained? Some of you not.
Was that 8 goals? Yeah, we were talking about, Nick mentioned, if the new offside rule goes into effect, we're going to see 6-5 games. It's the same thing they did in the NHL when they stopped.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, offenses open up. You're seeing more scoring.
No more offside trap, right?
Yeah.
I forgot about
What do you-
it.
yeah,
And the Devils made a meal of it to 3 Stanley Cups,
Yeah,
checking
and
everybody in the
then-
neutral
then
zone.
one cents? No, because that system
Yeah,
worked
close.
out.
They went to one Stanley Cup too, so
Yeah. So, given that we tried to prepare you all, we tried to warn you, we gave it our best, yet you didn't listen. This is going to be a yes, of course they.
I mean,
It's going to be a very long and it's going to be a disappointing season for anyone that thinks that this group, as currently put together, is going to find success.
no.
And you and I are both in agreement. The guy we would have brought in was not brought in.
I don't think he would. I mean, and and
We don't know, but yeah.
and to segue to that, Nick, I honestly, the way the team, Mark has has an excellent point. The way the team is currently constructed, right? Even if they did bring in Curtis, right? I do not think it would make much of a difference. Maybe they will probably have 5 wins instead of 3, but but it just goes to show that having young kids, I've never knocked Red Bull for their development, never, and you're still not going to, that's correct, Curtin. You're still not going to, Jim Curtin. You're still not going to get me to knock the development for your program for the new, for Red Bull. The other side of that coin is when you're talking about a professional team in a market like ours, people want to see big names. People want to see excitement. People want to see, I hate to say it, an entertaining team that they can able to talk about around the water cooler and everything else. You're not getting it here, okay? Even when we had Henri, remember, Nick?
Yes.
The play. I mean, you can count on one hand how many times that this place was sold out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Our best year was 2017 to 2018.
18. Right.
2019 was 3 years. We were close to 23,000 per night at the cathedral. Our main problem has always been we were bad at self-evaluating, meaning our and Johan GM before Julian took over gave out some pretty bad first team contracts that Julian's got to
Right.
clean up. And
Yeah.
they're all to the kids. Are they ready? Not all of them are. Julian is ready. Mehmedi is ready. Dos Santos is not. Could Mascari use some more time on the second team?
Hell
Probably.
yeah. Yeah.
Rojas is down there now because his cameos didn't work out the way they should.
Nope.
We missed the valve on our U21 our U22 guys. One's in Poland, who is on loan, and he separated his shoulder his first game while playing in Poland. Pokemon is playing for RB2, and Noah took the high road and went to Bristol. So what are we left with? We have to bring in new talent, new players, in 4 months, and he did what he could, and we got some. There is some potential, but potential always gets you fired. That's what they always say, and they say it in baseball all the time. Potential gets you fired, and we've been lenient with all of our in-house guys, and we keep them. We try to develop them. We keep them on the contract, and what has happened? The first example wasn't. Let's look at when Rebel 2 won in the USL. How many of those guys made it to the first team? Like 8 of them, and how many? 9. And how many did really stick around? Besides, Tyler did, Aaron Long, Davis.
Yeah. Miazga pieced out after year 2.
Miazga, and then Mule.
Yeah.
The other guys, the other 5 of them, didn't develop the way that the team projected them to. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the main problem with us. We're bad at self-evaluating the talent. Some of the guys are truly going to be real good first-team players. Not everything translates from RB2 to the first team. That's what we got to be better at in self-evaluating. Until we're better at this, we're going to keep running into the same problem, especially when we keep putting Band-Aids on the roster after our legends left in 2019. When Bradley left, when Robles left, we only did.
You didn't replace the talent.
All those guys left, and we put a Band-Aid on it to replace it. We'll bring in this guy who'll help us for a couple of years. Bring this guy a couple. No, that doesn't fix it.
No. I mean, if you don't have the budget to bring in players that can right off the bat, you have to bring in 6-figure salary. I mean, six-figure, 7-figure salary. Then you're right, Nick. You're not going to make much of a difference. Before we go into our match recap with FC Dallas, quick question for you. Are you surprised that people are jumping on the coach right now this early?
No, because I think they want the team to win quickly, and they're not getting that, and they're also not getting like any adjustments. He's just sticking with it. All right, my way is going to work. That is the thing that I don't like. That's the thing I don't like personally. All right, I'm going to run a 4-3-3. We're going to keep pushing the ball forward. All right, we're leading 3-1. Can you settle back a little bit? Let's try to get the win here. Can we make some adjustments? We got a 4-3 lead in the 80th minute. Can we make an adjustment to see this game out? A win's important for these kids. It's important to them. Get it. Make the adjustment.
Right. Get the 3
coach,
points.
The coach always gets blamed, though.
Of course, yeah. In every sport, right? In every sport, the headband is hanging in the piano for your fans to be taking a swing at. It's always going to be that case, right? But in this particular instance, you got to side with the fans here a little bit, including yourself, Nick. I mean, because what you see the mistakes game after game after game, mistakes that generally you're really not supposed to be seeing on a professional team like this, and it makes you want to scratch your head, and in some cases, it makes you want to pound the table and scream. So in case you're wondering why we're showing highlights to a team that we have already lost, well, because we're contractually obligated to do so. And with that said, here is the match recap for FC Dallas and New York Red Bull.
3 and 4 as it stands. And away we go on match day 11, and with the World Cup break looming, both sides eager to rebound after recent disappointment. Michael Bradley showing consistent trust in youth and a new philosophy. Eric Quill suggesting...
We did, and then immediately see the results consistently, but I like the way they've made the changes early and shown a lot of promise. Been one of the more exciting teams.
Here's Valiente in behind here, and a real opening for Dallas. A good stern save from Ethan Horvath in the opening exchanges. Tim Parker drafted in as a centre-half from the get-go today. 33 years of age, of course, had 2 seasons with Red Bull New York before spells at Houston, St. Louis and New England Revolution. Out of position momentarily, here's Cake. Trying to play it in behind. Valiente now with options aplenty for Dallas. One of them is Benjamin. Very, very good save from Ethan Horvath. And a major opening for FC Dallas.
Yeah, and Red Bull get shift with Parker and Nealis wide, and then Mina gets dropped down in the box. That's completely naked on the back post there with Benjamin. Takes it off his chest, has plenty of time here, and see Petar Musa is desperate. Little takes it off his chest, has plenty of time here, and see Petar Musa is desperate for that little square.
Red Bull New York historically do have a much better record against FC Dallas than most in Major League Soccer. In fact, they've lost just once in their last 10 games against FC Dallas. You have to go back to March of 2012 to find their last defeat to Dallas. Here's Benjamin in behind now. Really good opening for Dallas, and they've scored. Of course, it's Petar Musa. Give him an inch, and he'll take a mile in this type of form. 10 goals and counting.
Does such a good job of holding the play up, comes down the left-hand side and then ultimately comes back to him, and from that spot you can see pinpoint accuracy to the far post here, and this is the hold-up play. Excellent one-time layoff, and then Valiente picks out that far side. That opens up the space, and as the runners adjust from Red Bull, you can see Tim Parker coming across. That run draws him forward, and it leaves the number 9, who's leading MLS in goals with his 10th of the season.
So Dallas now very much with attack on their mindset. Ramiro delightfully over the top. Moore to continue to give his all. And finds a way in behind. It's Shaq Moore. Required a save at the near post from Ethan Horvath. Corner.
Just working hard defensively just to dig this one out. Moore, why not have a go from that angle? Just trying to see if he can catch Horvath leaning one direction.
The bright-booted 17-year-old. Marshall Rutty. Mosquera with a turn from Benedetti. Intricate amongst the crowd, but wide of the intended target. Farrington, cleverly done by him. Kike involved once again. In behind it goes. Logan Farrington with the ball here. Farrington! And across for Sava, who scores! He wheels away in celebration, and with his first goal in Major League Soccer, gives Dallas their second.
Moments on 2 goals from Dallas, and Kike plays this one in behind to Farrington, who takes that touch a little bit long, but is so clever to just stand that one up to the back post. Doesn't even have to look, knows where Sarver is, and from there, an absolutely great run from Sarver. The MLS Next Pro MVP last year has fought his way into this team and made a massive difference down the stretch last season and gets his first in MLS.
Swan involved in the build-up. Marshall Rutty happy to retreat, and Horvath away for Red Bull New York. And with that goes the final whistle. And in Eric Quill's micro season before the World Cup break, a massive away day victory.
Note, Juan Mina made his first career start in that match. Goalkeeper Evan Horvath made 4 saves. Apparently was not enough to keep 2 from going in the back of the net. So, with that said and done, the game in particular, really just showed, how, when you don't have enough defense, when you don't have the players to actually keep up with a team like FC Dallas, who is not that, not a bunch of scrubs. They can't beat you on a very good night. Peter Musa was the type of guy that you have to really keep on frame, but you didn't. Okay, you let that guy loose, he'll find a way to find the back of the net. So, Mark, you saw the tactical, you were shaking your head throughout the entire game. Honestly, what in the hell went wrong?
Everything went wrong. I mean, that's nothing went right, really. I mean, it just, you've got obviously Tim Parker, who is slow. I mean, he makes dinosaurs look fast. Right? He's a bench player. You got him starting. You got the wrong Nealis was kept, as everybody likes to point out. Still a center back. He's barely a serviceable right back or left back. I mean, it's not pretty. The whole back line is a mess. So unless we're scoring 4 goals and not playing DC, I guess, we're just it's going to be one of those years where we're just going to constantly shake our heads. At this point, you're not seeing the development from Dos Santos. Like I commented, it's probably his worst game so far this year. I don't know what's going on. You have the situation with Chupo. He's not getting any playing time. So there's a big question mark right there. Why are you not getting him involved? Emil looks slow. I think this is Emil's last year. I don't see him coming back next year. He might want to, but I don't know that physically he's capable of doing it.
People really underestimate the physicality of this league, okay?
Yeah.
And when you got a guy coming from anywhere, okay, even Messi has chirped about the physicality of the league. He's been chirping at refs when they slam into him making a tackle and stuff like that. I mean, this is what I've been telling friends. He's like, well, this is like, you guys are tackling like the NFL. I said, dude, this is Major League Soccer, okay? You got defenders who are big as linebackers, and they don't care about Messi. They don't care about Thierry Henry. They don't care, about Tim Cahill, who also complained about the physicality in this league. And he's a pretty physical guy himself, okay? But when you're slam dancing with 20-something defenders, I mean, you get to feel it after a while. And so that's where we stand. But the lack of the defense is glaring, especially when we have injuries and stuff. And we're not giving the Red Bulls any excuses whatsoever. And, I agree, I definitely agree with, with Kouzulis. I mean, we rush up players after year 1 with Red Bull 2. Let these guys cook until they're 21 and 22. I agree wholeheartedly. That was the problem for the last, 6-7 years going, and it started, it started with the last, GM head of sport, okay, who has been dialing up these numbers from guys from Red Bull 2 after a season or 2. Didn't work then, it's not going to work now, okay? But it's a real, balance, because if you keep that kid in Red Bull 2 too long, you know what's going to happen, right? Those big clubs are, over in Europe be sniffing around. And next thing you know, they're going to snatch them up and then give you a bag of money, and then you got nothing. Adding to that, to that was this insane, thought process of leaving the USL. I know the USL wanted MLS's clubs out of there, okay, because they wanted to be the de facto Premier League, in this nation. You're not going to do that. We're paying guys who who make less money than I do. You're not going to do that. But, but as far as development is concerned, we've had better Red Bull 2 teams when they were at the USL. Okay? This is the part when you guys tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. That's
wrong.
the problem. I got my shirt with the star on it from the USL days, and the next pro team obviously won last year. So yeah, he's got the red one. I have that one too. It's hanging up in my closet. We're faced with part of what the Red Bull philosophy is. They sign a guy to play at Red Bull 2. He's got 3 years, and I don't think people are aware of that.
Yeah, 3 years. That's it.
3 years. If you do not develop and become a first teamer in 3 years, you get cut. If you look at the roster in USL, you will see there's a lot of former Red Bull players. Guys,
Tons of them.
yeah,
Tons of them.
We were talking about the team that won in 2016. Brandon Allen was the top scorer for that team in 2016. He never made it with the first team. It was a great talent, but there was no room. We had Bradley Red Phillips. Look what happened with Brian White.
Same deal.
Yeah, Brian got let go. Everybody cries that we kept Barlow. That was Struber's choice. He was the one behind the scenes pushing to keep Barlow, and Brian unfortunately had gotten hurt when he was coming back. He wasn't up to the same speed. He was similar in the way he played to Bradley. Not exactly, but he did play with a similar style. He was a poacher. He'd like to be there. I watched Tom when he played with Red Bull too. Tom, generally speaking, could take the ball from the midfield stripe and score, but not against MLS goalies and against MLS defenders.
Who know better than right? Yeah, who know better than the kid? Not to be chipped like that.
Right. So that was part of Barlow. Never was put in a position where he played to his strengths. He basically was forced to run around like a chicken with no head. And yeah, it didn't work out. So he's moved on. We've had other guys move on. Look at Alex Muriel. He's had a good career in Nashville. Okay,
He's studying that.
Yeah, I mean he's done well. I mean he's no phenom, but he's a good quality player.
He's the type of player. He's the type of player that, if we're going to be honest with ourselves and everybody here tonight, he's the type of player that, dare I say, we can definitely use him for this side.
He would fit in right. He would
fit in beautifully. I mean,
3 positions, because he can play as an attacking mid, he can play defending mid, and he can play as a back. He had a couple games where he was playing as a left back, and it's great.
The national put Ramadan back there too.
Yeah, I mean, and we had the whole the 3-5-2 that we did under Sandro, and he pushed that hard, having the wingers. I mean, I got his jersey up behind me. I mean, Cam Harper got 10 minutes on Sunday.
Yeah, he's coming
back. He's coming back.
Yeah, 2 different injuries.
Yeah, so I mean, it's unfortunate. Look, I mean, we had Caden Clark. Everybody thought he was the next guy. It didn't work out too well for him.
Right after the appendix surgery, he kind of fell off.
Well, he took his soccer skills out with his appendix, so
you can barely get on the field with DC.
Yeah, I mean
DC.
Yeah, sure.
Think about. I want everyone to think about that for 1 second. He barely got on the field with DC.
Now he's barely getting any run with them now.
He's not getting anyone else. I mean,
I think he's got an assist in like 10 games.
Yeah. I mean, it goes with what we've been saying throughout the years. When we had guys who was running the club, you had good players, you had good coaches, you had decent front office guys who pretty much knew what they were doing. But for some reason, something got in the way, mainly themselves, and this is the reason why we are here. Speaking of New York Red Bull 2, they were down in Chester, okay, and they were undefeated then. They're still undefeated thanks to a 2-1 lead. Now, this is what we've been saying in the pre-show, right? Philadelphia got a goal, Korenczynski, in the 51st minute. Then, hold my beer, as the young gun scored twice in the second half to earn that Jimenez. He got his third career goal against Union 2, and he leads the active roster in goal scorers against the club. That's his 10th career goal with New York Red Bulls 2, guys. He's heating up. Should he be featured, in the first team? Not yet. Neelic, okay, he scored his second goal of the season, found the back of the net in consecutive matches for the first time in his Red Bull 2 career. Okay, scored his fourth career goal with New York Red Bull 2. Bazan, the guy that we've been hoping that he maybe make the first team. Well, yeah, he recorded his first MLS Next Pro assist in that match. Okay, has a goal and a contribution in back-to-back matches. Well, what do you know? A defender who can score.
And he can pass.
And he can pass. Yeah, the dude's got good feet. The guy's got good feet. You know who we also
Spring Jimenez. What a pass.
I mean, you know who else? You know who else had great feet? The guy that left. I mean,
no, I heard about too.
Yengar. He also earned his third assist this season. 5 goal contributions last 3 appearances. Okay, Rodriguez recorded his first MLS Next Pro assist. Goalkeeper Tobias Swizik. It seems that if there's one thing that these guys are developed pretty well, guys, goalkeepers.
Yeah,
okay,
we can do goalkeepers.
15.
15 goalkeepers. Too bad he's not gonna. Go ahead, Nick.
Was he 15 years old now?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, he's gonna be battling AJ. Ethan.
He's got size. Have you seen this kid? He's a big kid. He's got size. He's got wingspan. Okay, he can cover that net, boys.
Between AJ, Stokes, and him, I think we're pretty much set up for goalies for the next 20 years.
One of them. But it was something that you said 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was something you said 2 weeks ago, Nick. It said, if Harvath better stop putting him that foolishness from that, you got kids coming up. They're probably doing better than he. I mean, Red Bulls 2 are unbeaten through their first 8 matches for the very first time in club history, but yet they're 1 point, but they're 1 point behind the leaders, from Charlotte, Carolina.
They're scoring like we are. 26 goals, I think they got this year.
Yeah,
Carolina.
But the word's out in that league. It's okay, and you want to win a championship, you just got to outscore everybody. The hell with defense. Okay, Gotham. Okay, they won. Of course, all it took was 1 goal from Jaden Shaw. That's it, and that's all they needed. They knocked off Racing Louisville FC 1-0, while Red Bulls naturally were on the road. So in that particular match, she scored her second goal of the regular season, her 19th regular season career. Forward Jordan Dudley received a goal contribution for the for the third consecutive match. She tallied her second assist on Shaden's opening goal. So basically, there's one thing about Gotham FC, right, boys? They start off slow, right? It looks like they're fading everything, but all of a sudden, bang, here they come, climbing the table. Last I checked, they're sitting in 4th right now. When they were 2 weeks ago, they were in 9th. They're heating up. So,
a 3-game winning streak does go a long way, and shutting out everybody along the way also is great. They're doing what thing they do good. They started doing something that they haven't done all season at home: scoring. They had a problem the first couple of games at home scoring goals. Now they're scoring. The girls are scoring. Now they're back to what they're going to be. Defending champ. That's not going to go away easy.
Nope. Red Bull 2. Go, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The ladies have only allowed 4 goals. 4 through 8 games. I mean, 4 clean sheets.
4 clean sheets.
I mean, it's
Catherine Ann Berger. She's shutting out people.
Their defense is not a question. It's the offense that wasn't clicking, and now it's starting to get hot. We're gonna see them. I think either at the top, second. As long as they keep this going, they have the talent to keep going. They could repeat as champions. I don't see a reason why they can't.
Right now, Portland Thorns have the top spot in NWSL. Crown Legacy FC has the top spot in MLS Next Pro. Red Bull 2 right behind them, just simply 3 points behind. They have 23 points. We have 20. Their next game, New York Red Bull 2, will be against Toronto FC 2 in a very absurd kickoff time at 11 o'clock in the morning. I like to know.
That's something to do with the Canadian laws or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what's up with that. But it's like when they do that game on a weekday.
Right.
I always thought it was because they had class trips coming out to see the kids play or something. I don't understand starting at 11 a.m.
Right.
They closed the BMO field. They had their 9 games in a row over there.
Right.
So they closed it all off. Now they're getting prep work for the World Cup, which is going to be a disaster in that stadium. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I mean, I've seen
you hated our stadium when it's packed to the gills. You can't move around and get some food and go to the bathroom. That's much worse.
Yeah, BMO Field said, hold my beer. Gotham FC takes on Boston Legacy FC at Sports Illustrated Stadium on the 9th of May. 6:30 p.m. is the kickoff time for those ladies when it's all said and done. So, Tom, you're right. Gotham are playoff monsters. Okay, they lie in wait, They don't panic. They're like, well, we'll just wait until we get in, and then we do what we always do. We knock out people left and right. I mean, so the bodies are solid, and you're right, because it was, I forgot his first name. Is it Brian? Billy? You're right about Billy. Don't forget, we haven't forgotten about Yengar. We haven't forgotten about him. Sent to Red Bull 2, and he's produced. True professional. He's doing his thing. He's stating his case to make it for the first team. My question is, once he gets there, don't disappear. We know you got skill. I mean, we know you got game. But when he gets up there, he gets game. He disappears somewhat, and that's probably the reason why he got sent down there. The one person I feel who really should be sent down, I don't want to start a war between him and his followers, is Dos Santos. I think he needs to be sent down to get a little bit of seasoning up there because he's been nothing but a disaster. I mean, defensively, I don't understand a person that was marked for defensive assignment and then you jog back because you couldn't hang it with him. That was one thing I drew a circle on it. What was that action all about?
And the second goal too. You take the guy. Stop the cross. Take the guy. There's no stand in the middle of nowhere.
I mean,
first goal you didn't even come back for either.
I mean, he makes these mistakes. I mean, I understand about growing pains, but these are not growing pains, okay? You're being bumped off the ball. That's one, okay? You're a kid, okay? You're getting trucked by midfielders and forwards, okay? Peter Musa is not that large, but he ghosted you on that first goal. I mean, it made me sick to my stomach, but I mean, right now the Red Bulls are now sitting, oddly enough, okay, like I said, Portland Thorns, oddly enough, despite everything, Red Bulls are still sitting on 11th place in the Eastern Conference. They lost their second straight game. They're going to Chicago, a place where they don't do so well at Soldier Field or in Bridgeview. They got a very dim view. And to talk about that after the break, Nick Lianos is going to basically explain to everyone why, for all intents and purposes, this is a must-win game for Bradley and the crew. We're going to take a break for about 30 seconds, and then Nick will actually explain just how much of a chance the Red Bulls have up there in Soldier Field. See you back here in 30. Well, Red Bulls hit the road to Chicago, a place I would really like to go, but I couldn't do it. But it's a great town. Many of you guys have supported us and went up there and said the same. Great place, deep deep dish pizza and everything and all that good stuff. But business has to attend to it. And of course, naturally, Chicago Fire is match day 12 kickoff. Please note the time, boys and girls, 2:45, 2:30. It's an early afternoon game. Head-to-head, all-time regular season, 22-33-16. In Chicago, even worse, 7-22-11. This is their 78th all-time meeting. Red Bulls New York's last win in Chicago was on April 30th, 2022. 2-0 to the good guys. Bonus points if you can remember who scored both goals.
Wait, which time? Goodman? No, not me, Goodman.
The player name that we were ordered not to mention. I'll give that a hint.
It's Patrick Klamala.
We were right. We were ordered not to mention. We kept saying the K. We kept saying the K word. Right? Came on the show. Don't mention his name ever again. Ever. Bartos, we love you, man. We love you, man. Don't mention this name ever again. You hear me?
See, now we can say it.
Now we can say it. No, the restriction has been lifted. Oh yeah.
I don't even know where he's at.
Yeah.
I don't even know where he's at. Last I checked that he was playing in Korea.
I thought he was in Australia.
No, he was in Australia. He was. I think he's still there. I think he's still in Australia right now.
I saw the last thing I saw he was playing in Korea.
Korea. He's well, I mean, his career has taken him near and far. He's taken him places. Here's the thing, though. He never really wanted to leave Harrison, from what I was told. He didn't want to go.
No.
Yeah, he said that in an interview, too.
Yeah, he didn't want to go. He wanted to stay. He definitely he felt that he could really, when you're playing in a place, when you see 99 over your shoulder, it inspires you to go, you know what, I can do what you can do and do better. But we haven't matched the smoke. So, Nick, off to Soldier Field they go, to a place where they rarely win. The Fire, the Fire is a curious team, right? Right now they're sitting in fourth, last I checked. Well, go ahead, man. You have the floor.
Okay, Chicago Fire, of course, is getting coached by the ex-U.S. men's national team coach Greg Berhalter, and is in second year with the squad. And through 10 games, they got 5 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. 18 points, 19 goals scored, 11 goals against. Hugo Kuipers, he's got half of them. He's got 10 of them. Philip Zinkernack was the guy that pulls the strings. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists. Our old friend Andrew Gutman's on the team. He has 2 assists going back. And they handed the goalie's job to Chris Brady, and he's taken it by the throat. He's really excelled at the spot. Jack Elliott they brought him last year from Philly to stabilize the defense, and he's doing what Jack Elliott does. He's tall, he's lanky, he's not going to let you in the middle. They brought in Mokaizi from South Africa for $3 million. Anton Selstros, another midfielder for another $3 million to shore up their attack. He's been very good for them. He doesn't have any stats to show for it, but he's been very good filling in. Robin Lou, the quiet signing, played for Minnesota. He's got a goal and assist on the team. They're a good squad all around, coming up and down. They've been very consistent. Very consistent. They just had a 5-game winning streak just snapped by Cincinnati, and a crazy game last Saturday night, 3-2.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. Wow, that was wild.
crazy game. Goals were given. Both teams were just handing out goals in the first half. 4 goals were scored in the first 22 minutes, and then in the 89th minute, Chicago got a penalty, which was saved, and only to give it up in the 95th minute for a penalty kick for Cincinnati.
They were down to 10 men.
Cincinnati was down to 10 men, then Brandon made his hat trick. Crazy game looking back and forth. They also lost in the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday, losing to a bad St. Louis team at home. and knocking them out. So this is a bad week.
I mean, you talk about losing to your rival just the same way they did. It's, we'll be the only team that did that. Talk to St. Louis. Those two cities hate each other.
So their season is quite weird. I don't know what to make of Chicago. They lost to DC. They drew in Nashville 1-1. That was a good win, and they had a 5-game winning streak. I don't know what to make of them because they're up in the wins are against Montreal. Sorry, I had it right here. One second. Damn it, where'd you go? Sorry.
They beat Nashville. They beat Atlanta.
They beat Nashville.
Sporting Kansas City. Right.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of them because
they basically, Nick, they beat bad teams. If you look at the teams that they beat, they're well below, okay, with the exception of Nashville. Nashville was a quality win, okay? It was definitely a quality win. But all the other teams they beat, they beat the teams that you say they should have beaten. Okay? That to me, that's a hallmark of a good team. You're supposed to beat the teams below you in the table. But when you knock off a team like Nashville, who is arguably one of the best teams right now in the league, you're saying something. I mean, you're knocking on the door in the Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah. Greg knows how to get the most out of his squad. You've seen that on the U.S. national team side. You've seen it what he's done in Columbus before he took the national team job. He knows how to build a winner quietly. And he's doing it again in Chicago because Chicago didn't see the playoffs for 10 years before he came in and took over and got him into the playoffs. And he scared Philadelphia last year. They went to.
I didn't think you can actually do that to the Philly. You're scared of the Union. I mean,
scared of the Union, but they went into penalties in the first game. They came back and tied the game on them at the end. They went to penalties, and in the second game, besides the one, they made a boneheaded mistake to give Philly the 2-0 lead, and after that they were just cooked at that point. But Philly was in the dogfight for 150 minutes against Chicago. So in that playoff series, and there was the 8th seed, coming in. So, and we play when we go there, we play somehow or another bad. It's as bad as Montreal and it is DC. And it's one of those another house of horror that we have. And we can't seem to get out of our own way over there.
Look, we can't even win at home this year. So
I was going to ask Mark.
It's always been our hallmark that, I say Red Bull Arena, you say whatever it's called. The Cathedral has always been a fortress. We have arguably the best record. It's between us and Seattle at this point. I don't know if they passed us or if we're still in first. But there's the question. I mean, it's league wide though, because we didn't even touch on the what we can refer to among the group, the pink team. They blew a 3-goal lead to Orlando. All right, it's the Battle of Florida. Like, who cares anyway? It's Florida. But given that they had a 3-0 lead, how do you blow a 3-0 lead?
3-0 leads. That's a game. That's a game win. Yeah, that's a game win.
To Orlando. All right, we lost a 2-goal lead. Inter Miami is the first team this year to have blown a 3-goal lead.
And they didn't even come out to speak. None of the players, going back to Miami, coach didn't speak. Answered one question before he left. Messi,
MIA, right? Yeah, Messi was MIA.
All those big hired guns didn't bother saying anything. So they sent out a 19-year-old kid to go answer questions.
Yeah, but that's sort of been like the hallmark or the trademark for our league this year. We lost to Montreal. I know we know away, but at home to a team that was miserable, that couldn't score, and we let them score and we let them win in our house. But this is going on all over the place. Like we were talking, Chicago loses. No, it's a last-minute penalty call.
MLS is the league of parity. Remember?
We're starting to see that play out because the top teams aren't really that great compared to some of the other teams mid-table. Nobody's going to walk away with this. It's not like we were talking about the Gotham ladies. When they went into Kansas City was head and shoulders above everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? They go in, they win, and everybody's like, how did the 8th seed win? Because there's really not that much different. Yeah, you can run rampant in the regular season. The regular season, again, doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot in MLS. You have 18 teams that make the playoffs. 18. That's over half the league.
Mm-hmm.
We're worried about we're in 11th. We could still get into 9th or 8th by the end of the season.
Right, we're currently tied at the moment. The only difference between us and the next team is goal difference.
Yeah.
Basically, we have -11. The team that's on top of us is +1, and that belongs to New York City FC right now. So we're in shouting distance, and we're probably going to be that way for the foreseeable future. But if the Red Bulls want to start, climbing up the table toward respectability, they need to start now. They need to start putting games away with wins. Okay. And Billy is right. We're looking, we're basically, team has no right to take any team seriously. We might even struggle versus Kansas City before the World Cup break, and he's right. But you know what? This is the reason why I said that, okay, regardless of what you are and what people think you are, the results, this is zero sum. The results on the pitch matter. You need to start putting together a string of good performances if you want fans to actually give you a look, okay, and a serious one at that. And I think you can do that by taking down the hosts at Soldier Field. Go ahead, guys. Tell me if I'm wrong here. I mean, this is something that they need to do here. And we talked about the fans need to have a serious conversation. Let's have a serious conversation about this club. We know they're not that great. We know that they're dealing with injuries. We know we got a coach who is typically learning on the job, okay, to many of the supporters' detriment. But he's your guy, whether you like it or not. Red Bull is not going to fire this guy for this season as much as you want them to do. They're not going to do that. Okay.
Not after the short season. Don't expect them to go anywhere after the.
Nope. Not after that either. Okay.
Maybe next August, but I don't think that's.
No, the only thing that you can possibly hope for is that as we speak, as we record this show, Julian de Guzman's on the phone, working the phones, talking to agents, talking to anybody who may want to join this outfit, that they're worth, that their career is worth it. Okay, so that's the only thing you can hope for right now. This is the team you got. This is what you have right now, and unless you got one superstar going, I'll take a flyer on that and sign with this club, it's not it's not going to happen. But I will tell you this though, Forsberg, I think this is his last season. I think this is it with him. Okay, he's going to go. Ditto with Chupo, and then you're going to have to decide what you're going to do. Okay, you have to replace two big pieces on that chessboard, and who are you bringing in? Okay, you got to bring in ballers that will make guys like Mehmeti and, more importantly, Hall, Krzyzewski, stick around. They're there for another 2 years. Okay, but if but I agree with you, Nick. If they can get up to 500 before the end of the break, that's a victory. Okay, that's a victory. But we're looking at a team that badly needed of upgrades. And when I've been saying this, I said this is a young crew with missing pieces that's coached by, a rookie head coach. I don't know if you're going to if you expect great things from that. Hey, that's great, but there's a very good chance it could go wind up the other way. And this is what I've been telling everyone. Yelling and screaming, Bradley out I mean, while I understand the spirit, while I understand the pain and everything of watching a team that you see fall apart week after week after week, even on a little sneeze, this is the team we got. Because not too long, you guys were hailing De Guzman when you was getting rid of, contracts that were signed by the other guy, bad contracts at that, okay, to make room. It's like trying to turn around a huge, the container ship at a very narrow canal. That's one hell of a K-turn, okay? And you hope that you don't get stuck in the interim. This is going to be a project. This is going to be a while, folks. We can only hope for what the good things. And speaking of which, we now come down to, as they say, the dangerous part of our show, predictions. Okay, starting with you, Mark. What do you see the final score when it's all said and done versus Chicago?
I hope I'm wrong. I'm saying 3-1 Chicago.
You're hoping you're wrong. Out.
I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be 3-1. We'll probably get a late goal, and it won't mean anything. But I don't, unless something massively changes, I don't see this team going out there and coming back with 3 points.
Nick, you feel the same?
I'm going with a 2-2. I have a feeling both teams somehow score against each other. It's going to be one of those crazy, ugly games.
Mm-hmm.
And Julian gets one, and I think Emil gets one tomorrow on Saturday.
They scored 19 goals, gave up 11. So their defense is not exactly as solid as most people think. Ours is obviously considerably worse. With that said, I'm going to go on the limb here. 2-1 win. Something has got to give, okay? Of course, I can have most of the group would basically show me the final score in my face at this age pretty well, knowing those guys, and they love it, put it in my face when I'm wrong. But I'm hoping I'm right this time because something's got to give. The team, one more loss, and they're in the tailspin and they can't get themselves out of. And that's not what you want with a young crew. A young crew, their confidence can be shaky and everything else. You got Bradley saying we're not changing jack. Okay, we're moving forward. We're moving on. We're going to continue until we get it right, and then when we get it right, then we'll make those mistakes and get it better. That's pretty much how Michael Bradley is looking at it, and rightfully so. We're going to basically be asking him some questions, of course, during the press conference, which will take place on Thursday. Hopefully, he can have some answers before they head off over to, the wonderful place in Midwest. So that's it, and that's all. What episode 174 is in the can, boys and girls. Lonray, when he's not sweating over the Knicks, how are they doing right now? We haven't mentioned a word about.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Yeah,
I'm not. We're not gonna jinx right now because he'll be jumping all over.
No, that's Lonray's job.
Yeah, that's Lonray's job. We're gonna wait until after the game is on, then we'll talk about that. Lonray and Miguel will be with you guys next week to talk about what happened in Chicago, close with New York Red Bull 2 with Toronto FC, and of course Gotham. When they're done with their game. So that's it for me. As always, if you missed the live show that's happening right now, don't sweat it. You can always catch us on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also on Spotify.com, new episodes will be uploaded on Wednesday at midnight for your watching and listening pleasure. And if you have any questions about what we talked about and everything else, don't forget our email address. RBDG, the podcast, one word, at gmail.com. I'm hearing a lot of fire around here lately. That's like the 8th time I'm seeing. I mean, it's been happening since I got here. We're hoping that everything is all right then. So that's basically it. So for Nick Lianos, Sir Mark Coates, thanks very much for spending us for the hour. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, boys and girls, good night and goodbye for now.